So, what do we have here?
Well, this is Hardemans Graviflyer that we tested at Mark's lab, and we've got it all set up and ready to go for test conditions with spinning rotors, with the Tesla coil, with the ultrasound, and with the high voltage. We've solved most of the problems along the way. As you can see, it's hanging by a scale. It's the same scale that Chris Hardman used when he measured his weight loss. So let's test it and see if we can recreate anything that he did.
We'll get in on that 90 degrees in so everyone can see the scale. This is the exact scale that he used. Okay, we got high voltage. The batteries are going to be controlling the motors. And what are we turning on first? So what's the process?
So what I like to do is I like to get the motors spinning first because they take a little while to get in resonance. So now that I got one battery connected, we can get that bottom one up and spinning.
So when are we going to apply the high voltage?
After we get, the high voltage is the last thing you turn on. So you turn on the rotors, you turn on the Tesla coil to the mid plate. The sound from the ultrasound is kind of optional. You can turn that on before or after the high voltage. We can hold off on that until we test the high voltage.
Okay.
Let's get that top one going. Find that.
Don't cross those wires. Keep the battery and everything separate.
Here we go.
Yeah, like that. That is spinning fast. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
Got the bottom one up and going a little faster.
Check the scale. Aidan, can you give me a hand here?
Get the Tesla coil on.
That's just from rotation. Aidan! Can you be in charge of high voltage?
Sure.
It's also coming out of this oscilloscope too. Oh, it needs to be plugged in. White cord. Let's plug it in over there. Okay, so channel 1 on that scope is giving us the high voltage through the voltage divider. Voltage divider's fan is on.
So now I need to get the Tesla coil roughly tuned.
Don't turn it on yet. He's doing the Tesla coil now. Okay. Tuning the Tesla coil.
So we got Tesla coil voltage.
The piezo making any sound, or?
The piezo's going to make a sound once we get the high voltage kind of roughed in. So you can see that he's got a lot of harmonic peaks here, but his tuner, there we go. Now it's in resonance, but his tuner has this interesting spot where you can get it right on the edge. And I've noticed that when I do that, I tend to burn out my can, but I do end up getting the best results because you're putting so much energy in so fast. There you go.
Okay, are we ready for high voltage yet?
I think we're ready for high voltage.
Okay, go for it for the high voltage.
Turn it on.
Yeah. Okay.
Zero it out, or have like just
It's constant current, so you gotta crank up the current right now. Just do it slowly. Go.
Alright. What is our current voltage at?
10% on the dial, and
Just turn it.
try to get
Oh, there we go. Oh, we're at full voltage now. We're at like 25 kV.
20. I would say like 20 kV.
Okay, so
There we go. Okay, that's too high. That's too high. Go down.
control it from the voltage side. Crank up the current, control it from the voltage. Turn down the voltage. What are we at there?
8.
Alright, turn that up slowly.
Does
It's
it
the
help?
high voltage oscilloscope right there. The Rigel, that's showing the high voltage in real time.
All right, we're about halfway where we need to be.
Okay. Crank up the voltage a little higher.
All right, that's good. That's good. That's good.
We're at about
not on the,
18.
Go down a little. Go down.
Here is the scale.
All right. That is a lot of high voltage. We got at least 21 kV on the
Yep.
bottom rotor right now. That is approximately the difference of potential that Alexi gets. Although his is plus 10 and minus 10.
Are we gonna start playing with the speed? Let's try the speed of the rotors. Get those resonances.
Let's just see if I can turn this up.
We're currently increasing the speed of the bottom rotor. It's vibrating more. What's the voltage doing? The high voltage is doing this. We can change the timing on that scope.
Yeah.
Big knob on the bottom. No, to the right of that. That one, yeah. Oh, you're getting something there. That might be in relation to this crazy wobble that we're seeing right now.
Well, I just touched the screw a little bit.
I think the motor needs to be braced more. We put like second on the
So,
another.
be real quiet for a second and listen. That sound, that resonant beat frequency that you're getting,
Let me slow it down a little bit.
so right now we're in the resonant window. So I got rid of the beat frequency.
Oh.
This scope is going crazy. Oops.
It's trying to get quiet, super quiet.
Could be the batteries are just running out of power.
No. It'll drop real quick out of it.
So once you get it in that resonant spot where the beat frequency is really, really slow, like imperceptibly slow, that's when you can start messing around with the ultrasound. Because the ultrasound only works when it's in a really narrow resonant window for the beat frequencies. So we're connected. Almost connected.
What's the frequencies on that? Aidan, can you try to get more information on what we're seeing here? Yeah, maybe do the auto thing, the auto one on top right. Top right. Right next to it. Yeah. No, just leave that. Oh, we gotta shut off 2. Do we need higher voltage on the high voltage DC?
Right now the voltage last I checked. Still real freaking high. Like basically 20. Which is right where we want it. If we go any higher, we might arc or we might create too much ozone or whatever other ionized gas around there, which makes it arc.
Aidan, can you get some information on channel 1, what it's doing?
Kind of do a post for real here. Channel 1, feature display of fire. Everything? What's the thing on?
No, display all. There's a display all thing. Measure. Where's measure?
This vector type. Vector. There.
Measure.
Okay. Rise, fall, nothing.
Okay, so change the time span so it can watch farther back.
Yeah, horizontal.
Yeah, the horizontal.
Nanoseconds. 100 nanoseconds. 50 nanoseconds. We're starting to get something. Oh, this is pretty. 20 nanoseconds.
Ugh.
Auto. Damn it. Microseconds. You're not doing anything. It's down here.
There we go. What frequency is that? That might be the wobble of this disc.
All edge, rise edge, extend edge.
Just for reference, 2.6 volts over here that I measured before. That is 26,000 volts. Huh.
I gotta speed up the lower disc. Whatever our current resonance point at isn't fast enough.
There's like a wee, 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 wee. There's a high pitched one in there.
Getting crazy.
The blue lights came on for a second.
Where?
The ones that are connected to the speaker voltage, I've been having trouble getting my ultrasound to work.
Horrible. I mean, it's not trying to lift off, it's just bouncing around. Why does his seem like it's so much slower? What was Ted saying, like it's like 2 to 1?
Oh, our bottom high voltage lead has gotten bent. We're gonna have to bend it back in place.
Oh yeah.
It's not touching
wobbled
anymore.
out.
Let's, no, don't touch it. Let's power down the high voltage. We can just power it down. You've got to do that. Can you power it down?
The key.
The key, yeah. There we go. Okay, you're ready to disconnect. Okay, so let's see what the final weight is. It's gaining weight now. Did it gain weight? Yeah.
Well, that's in the
Oh,
slot.
I got it zoomed in on the camera, so that's. Oh, you're playing with it now.
Yeah. So the minimum slop of the scale stops about 2.4, and the maximum.
Bottom line, what do we see here, Aidan?
Not a whole lot. It wobbled a lot. So
Is that Instagram?
yeah. No,
More Instagram's more important than this.
no, not really. I'm putting it out there. That's going out so people will keep.
We could put this on Instagram.
Of course you can.
We could make an Instagram video of us getting on
Not
Instagram.
chasing pretty girls and trying to get.
Nothing wrong with that.
Cool.
So the ultrasound didn't get very loud. The wobble that we saw was because our top rotor, its speed was set and we could only control the bottom rotor. speed. So we got the bottom rotor up to the speed that it was supposed to be at, but because the top rotor wasn't in resonance, that meant that you saw a lot of wobble because the magnetic fields were kind of fighting each other. If we would have gotten the top rotor going faster, that wobble would have gone away a lot, as it would have gotten the opposing fields to match in resonance better.
Do you think there's a problem that the center disc here is ferrous?
That makes a big difference too, because the frequency of the eddy current getting pushed by those magnets, it ends up going slower through this ferrous material than it does through the aluminum material. So as I measured with the tri-field, I only got about, I'd say 150-ish was the max frequency that I got off of this mid plate, but off of my aluminum mid plate, I was able to get regularly 250 to 300 hertz from the speed of the eddy current going around. So if we change this back to aluminum, or if we try going for something even more permeable than the steel, something like mu metal, that might end up slowing down the speed of the eddy current a lot more. And then when you have a slower eddy current, that amplitude from the RF is going to increase the strength of that magnetic field that's stored in the mu metal all the more. So we'd probably be able to even see, at least at bare minimum, some stronger magnetic fields farther away, and it'll probably interact with high voltage a lot more as well. I still got high hopes that this is going to come out successful in one way or another.
Alrighty then, that's a wrap. Thank you, Aidan, for helping out.
Yeah, you're welcome.
From the Falcon Space Lab, it is Sunday, February 5th, 2023. And that is Chris Hardemans Graviflyer that we have here at the lab.